lovely people of the internet. My name's Logan, or Shroom Dude Does Art, and today I'm going to be showing you a flip through of my sketchbook from December 27th, 2024 to July 30th, 2025. This is one of two sketchbooks for me. I have a sketchbook that's for actual sketching, and then I have a sketchbook that's more actual finished products, finished doodles, finished pictures. And towards the beginning of this sketchbook, I feel like you can see that I have a lot more testing out pins and less structured doodles, but then I move on to kind of trying to do mostly finished pieces in the sketchbook and moving my more actual sketchy bits to the other sketchbook. And there are several pages in the sketchbook that I've gone through and I've covered up many times with different pieces of paper, sketchbooks, colorful pieces of paper, construction paper, post-it notes, anything and everything, because I just didn't like the way they looked, so I wanted to redo the pages, and I think that's okay because, you know, at the end of the day, it's my sketchbook and I wanted it to look a certain way, and redoing it again and again and again is the way I wanted it to look, apparently. But I'm a big fan of working on colored paper as of recently. It's something I've gotten into, and because then you can have the lights, you can have the darks. I really like this page in particular with the trade flowers on it because that was a prompt given to me by a friend. She told me like to pick two words out of a hat, and I got trade and I got flowers, so that's my interpretation. And then this, I think, was in my 90% video, where I'm trying to utilize 90% of the paper, and I'm just showing how when I went back and did the back of the page, even though I put a different piece of paper over on top, it's still, things still bled through, unfortunately, onto that page, because it is really unfortunate because I did really like that page. And then yeah, I've got just some various doodles, playing with color, playing with texture, playing with shading, you know. I feel like a lot of the pages are a little boring by themselves, but the sketchbook as a whole, for me, is an art piece, you know. It's different themes and different ideas all tied together, and I really like that. In a way, it's also different, it's all so chaotic, and but at the same time it does have this kind of unified effect because it's all in my style, if you will, if that makes any sense. And it's all made by my hands. So, I mean, there's obviously some influence in that. I feel like even if you're trying to recreate a person's art exactly, your hands will have an effect, and your personal style will have an effect, and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, everyone's going to use different pens, different papers. I really like this sketch of this like bearded dragon lizard thing, and then some turtles. Big fan. Used a real thick, juicy pen for it. I think I used my Navulhar Peter pen for the turtle drawing, and it makes really thick, juicy lines because I got the double broad nib. Then I've got like the hyper realistic crows going on. I did a YouTube video on that guy too, which is fun. Fortunately, there was some bleed through from the, what do you call it, alcohol markers, so but I kind of like that it showed through, and then I kind of just utilized it in this drawing because it's fun. I was just mostly playing with shapes there. And then I've got some little creatures. The back of the right hand sided one is just a tea bag that's, you know, cut into a strip. And I cut out the guy's outline and put him there, and then the other guy is just brown ink. But yeah, then I've got some paste papers that I made that I drew on, and on the other side, I've got just a little weird technical thing. Got another little creatures, another weird blocky thing, a map that I doodled on. I just thought this was a cool little map that I got. A teacher gave it to me, and um, you can see it's like got different places on it, different, put X's and dots and different symbols on it. I just thought it would be a cool addition to the sketchbook. And then I really liked playing with I got a set of Posca pens, but unfortunately, I feel like they just bleed into each other so much. Like, I feel like with this paper, it's kind of thin, so unless you put another piece of paper, like, they just do not play well together. I feel like they just blend and bleed, which I guess is, like, good, but I don't know, I just wasn't what I was going for. And then I've got some little stamps that I made. The most of those were on like erasers, but then the cat was a lino cut, and I did those on like some piece of fabric too. So I've got some patches on my clothes that look like that, which is pretty neat. Got some little worm creatures, and yeah, I feel like a lot of my creatures are inspired by All's Tomorrows. If you guys have ever read that and seen any of the art for that, I think it's really a beautiful kind of art piece on, future evolution technology, the way our environment shapes us. There's lots of different ideas that play into from All's Tomorrows. It's one of my favorite pieces of art. And then this might be my favorite page in my sketchbook, Who Profits from Your Attention, and then the doodles on the side. I think it's just like a really good spread. And then mushrooms, obviously I've got to include some mushrooms in every sketchbook. And then some more mushrooms and some more doodles, some more techno things. That's just, I think that's a piece of construction paper and a post-it note. And then this is just a black pen and Posca pens making these stripes. And yeah, that was my sketchbook flip through. Pretty happy. It started out as a really thin book and it got really thick, which I'm really happy about. But yeah, I hope that inspired some of you. I hope you guys will see this and say you're gonna go out and make some cool art and have fun doing it. All right, bye-bye.